one, that's a pain in the ass to do on the side of a bloody cliff, on the side of a bank. And I don't know if you noticed before I filled the hole up with the footing concrete. The hole was already like sort of half or a quarter filled with water. Now I didn't, considering like this whole support structure that I'm building is only going to hold the weight of 6 to 12 solar panels. So I'm not too concerned with like the MPH, which is the strength and rigidity of the concrete. So as you see, instead of adding to mix the concrete, you know, the directions on the back said like 1 part sand, 1 part aggregate, which in this case I'll just use blue metal, small blue little rocks, and I use 1 part of blue metal and then 1 part cement. So all I did was just use the tertiary granite gravel that I've got all over the property, which is free and in abundance. Yeah, there's a little bit of clay mixed in with it, but you know, I think that might be a good thing, not sure. But use tertiary granite gravel with a little bit of clay as an alternative to sand. And also I use the blue metal as the aggregate. You could use any type of aggregate, like any type of rock or anything. And then the bag of cement, and just added water until I got a nice consistency. Now these footing holes that I dug were you know, half full, a quarter full of water. I wasn't too concerned about that, because as I assumed, while I'm pouring the heavy condensed footing cement in, concrete in, the concrete's going to sink to the bottom and push all the water out of the footing. And then also lubricate the bottom of the footing as well, so everything sort of grips around the pole a lot more smoothly and tighter. So that worked out. As you can see, when I was pouring this footing, all the excess water just pushed out of the footing and ran down the bank. Okay. How I did this, a little bit harder than your conventional setup, because 1, it's on the side of a steep bank, 2, it's not level, and 3, the bank is undulated up and down. So I figured I wanted the solar panels I have are 1 metre wide by 1.5 metres long. So I figure, well, if I have 6 solar panels nice tightly side by side, that will give me a nice first row of panels, and then I can have 6 on top. So I'll need at least some footings to support the width of 6 metres, 6 panels, a metre per panel. I come across 2 problems. First one was the scrap bit of timber I had laying around the yard. I didn't have a length of timber that was 6 metres long, so I had to laminate it, which means I grabbed 2 bits of hardwood timber, 6x4s, and I cut sort of like an L shape out of one and an L shape out of the other, and laminated them 2 together, screwed it on and supported it with a timber cleat on the back just to hold it all in. So that gave me a 6 metre length of timber I could use to run across all footings. The footings I put 4 in, spaced them 2 metres apart. At any stage later on down the track I can add to it and make it longer or whatever, but 6 is going to be just right for now. So to get the footings plumb, it was a little bit tricky. I would have liked to just go through and lay all 4 footings down. I didn't have laser level, I didn't have string line, but what I did have was a spirit level. So I put 2 footings in, one on the end, and then the third footing down, and then I sat a piece of timber, a straight piece of timber, the straightest piece of timber that I had available across the top of them 2 footings, and then sat a spirit level on top of the timber. So that would give me an idea where level was, and it was, you know, just to lift the footing up, I would chuck a bit of blue metal in the hole, build the hole up, pack it up a bit and sit the footing on top, and I just kept doing that until I got a nice plumb, reasonable level. And then I poured the concrete for them 2 footings. I've let that set and I've come back to do the other 2. The other 2 footings are a lot easier. So I'm going to use them 2 footings and a bit of timber as my straight edge. So all I have to do in this case now is, that's 1 footing, so then oh shit! Oh, well, there you go. It's one of the little small adversities you kind of have to overcome when you're trying to build structures on the side of a steep bank. That's steep, probably about that steep. I had 1 length of this laying around. This is a 4x4 square post, treated pine. And what I actually did do to ensure the longevity of the pine is I went through with some Bondcrete, which is like you can use it for waterproofing properties. So I went through and I painted the whole post. I cut the 1 post into, I managed to get 550mm sections, 4 of them. So I've cut the 1 post into 4 pieces at 550, and then I painted the whole footing, the bottom stops, top stops, and all the sides with Bondcrete, just to stop the timber from rotting out years down the track, because all that moisture and stuff it's going to be susceptible to in the footing. And then also what I did do as well, at the bed of the footing, I just poured a little bit of blue metal down in there, so the timber is actually sitting on the blue metal and not on the moist tertiary granite, gravel or clay. So because I've got 2 footings in already, and I've levelled the first 2 footings with the spirit level and the straight edge, the next 2 I can just put in and bring it plumb to this timber. This is going to be my straight edge. This is the timber I'm going to work off the face of it. So I'm going to bring my footing to plumb to the edge of the face, and then also over to the end of it as well, and just tack it in there. So that's tacked the footing into place now until I can get the rest of the concrete in, and just tack it there until it sets. course, whenever you're doing concreting or using cement and whatever, it's a really good idea to get onto them materials that you've used after the job and hose them out as soon as you can while it's still wet. Because when that cement goes off on your shovel, in your bucket or in your wheelbarrow, you know, you might as well throw them out because you'll never get it back off again. It's just easier to rinse it out. It takes 5 minutes. Get them nice and clean before the cement has a chance to set. Okay, so I think it's safe to say that that particular plastering bucket is going to be my designated concrete cement mixing bucket for the future when we go along and develop this off-grid property. I'm sure it's going to get used many more times in the near future. Thanks for coming along. I hope this episode you guys learned something different. Learn something to take away from it, some skills or understanding where you can actually go and use them skills and that knowledge to tackle your own off-grid property or do your own project around the house or whatever you got going on. But you know, most of the learning curve is seeing is believing, and sometimes you can read confusing instructions all day long. But actually watching someone do it can be a lot more informative. So, hope this video has helped someone, and please like, share and subscribe, and also put a link down in the comments below if there's anything particular you would like me to go over, or if there's anything you'd like me to do with our off-grid property. This is Azzlana's off-grid property. It's a family project, but at the same time we're sharing it with you, the YouTube community. So we would like your input and some ideas that you guys might have for us to use and be able to adopt and put on our off-grid property to, you know, to better sustain a free off-grid way of life here. Okay, well, thanks. Cheers. Catch ya.
That's exactly what we need. Oh, you're a genius. The mud is cement. These rocks are made of hard cement. You can just cement over it and stop it. Just touching it. Grab another one of those rocks. Now. Fix it. Rather saying that rocky cement, yeah it is. Just stop the pipe.
Oh yeah, I see what you guys are up to now.
We're trying to fix the pipe. Yeah, because there's a hole in it. Look, if we take this off.
Oh yeah.
So we're using this rocky cement, so when it dries up, there'll be rocky cement on here to stop the hole. Yeah, because Noah grabbed a rock and he put it in front of it and it just turned gooey.
So where did you get the idea to mix the clay and block it up with clay?
We got a hard rock that was actually made out of the clay. Then we out of the sand. Then we put it in front of it. No, then we put it in a blender and blended it up to this. And then we found this hole, so we used it on the hole. And then we put water.
So you're trying to use the clay to plug the leak in the hole, in the line.
Yeah.
That's a really good idea, guys.
Noah was the one who thought of
Thanks for helping out.
Another thing, I'm a genius.
You are a genius, Noah.
I said